Hello, beautiful friends. Yay! We are live. It's so good to be here with you guys live. I am sharing with you this space to ask me any questions you may have in regards to living a life that you absolutely love, and just giving us all an opportunity to connect here so that this isn't just a monologue, it's a dialogue where we get to connect. So as you tune in, if you could just let me know who you are and where you're from, that would be great, so I can make sure you can actually hear me and see me. That would be fabulous. Yes. I'm gonna start with, if someone could just put in a comment, that would be great, because I want to make sure, that you can hear me. Woohoo! Supriya from Canada. Hello, Christina. Good, awesome. Just lost my warrior bracelet. Okay, so I'm going to start with a question that I got actually by Facebook, and it's such a powerful question. So as I am answering this question and trying to get my bracelet back on, I would love to hear what you guys have to ask. So really ask anything that you have that's present for you. Hello, Felicia. Hi, isn't it so good to connect live? I wish one of you were here to help me put my bracelet back on, because it's hard to do. Oh, there we go. Isn't that beautiful? My dear sister just gave this to me for my 40th birthday. What? I just turned 40, you guys, and I'm gonna make a video on that soon. Okay, so here we go. Before we begin, let's just take a deep breath. Really, the solution, thank you, the answer and the solution to every question or challenge or issue is always the breath. It's what we always have. Thank you. So let's just start with 3 deep inhalations and exhalations. So breathing deeply into the body, receiving. And exhaling it out, letting go, releasing anything that has been pulling your energy outside of you. Again, inhaling deeply in, receiving full life force, full vitality. Good, and exhaling it out. And one more just like that. Inhaling in deeply. And exhaling it out. Good. Okay, so our first question is from Felicia. Hi, Jennifer. So Felicia asks, hi, Veronica. I love watching your videos. They have helped me so much during this past year. This year, I broke up with my long-term boyfriend. My father died from ALS, and I moved to a new place, started a new job, one that I really wanted. I live in a beautiful place, have met new friends, am doing new things like creating art, awesome, and in general, enjoy my job. Some days I feel full of joy, and some days, for no apparent reason, I get into these deep funks where I feel like, what is the point? I feel lost, disconnected, alone, hopeless, and existentially bored and disengaged. It then makes me feel panicked. Can anyone relate to this, by the way? I want to feel peaceful, connected, know who I am and where I'm going, and have a deep sense of connection and purpose all the time. Do you have any insight on how to feel this and not have so many mood swings? Thank you, Madeline. Ooh, such a good question, and I am really excited to answer this question. So ultimately, Madeline is asking, she has great things happening in her life, but she's just faced a lot of death. Moving to a new city, the death of her father, and the breakup with her boyfriend, with a long-term boyfriend. So all of those are deaths. You know, leaving a city, that's a death of an old life, ending a relationship, and then also an actual death of her father. So what I've discovered on my journey is that if we don't fully embrace death, there's no way to fully live life. And Oftentimes, the most incredibly powerful people are the ones who have fallen on their knees. They have just hit the ground. They have, just had the most challenging circumstances. And that's what precedes rising into an extraordinary life. And what Madeline is asking, there are a lot of clues in her question. So Madeline, I honor you deeply because it sounds like you're doing things that you love. You're making art. You manifested this amazing job, and you're also facing this sense of existential boredom and disengaged. So the clue in your question is, do you have any insight on how to feel this, like how to feel connected and not have so many mood swings? My answer is probably not what you're going to expect, or maybe it is. But ultimately, you're asking, how can I have a deep sense of connection and purpose all the time? So your actual mood swings are the way. And most people will say, so you want to get rid of your mood swings. And what I would say is bless your mood swings, like embrace your mood swings. I can tell you within the last 24 hours, I have had every feeling on the planet. And the only difference between me when I was depressed and anxious and suicidal and going through a super challenging life and what I live now, being an incredible life connected to who I am, who I truly, truly am, doing what I love, putting myself out there, doing things I never would have been able to do in the past, is because I finally realized that the challenges and the mood swings, I don't call them mood swings, I just call them multifaceted living, like having this high definition life, being a glorious diamond with all of these facets and colors. If it were to rain 3 times today, hail once, the sun comes out a couple times, a rainbow, then it falls tonight and there are clouds and then the clouds leave and there are stars in the sky, that kind of day to me would be a miracle, the most beautiful kind of day. But when it happens to us as humans, we go, oh my God, how do I get rid of this? Why do I have these mood swings? And so the only thing that causes the disconnect, that suffering or that existential crisis, is the belief on top of the mood swings that there's something wrong with you. And I'm here to look you in the eye and share from my heart to your heart, and this goes for everyone watching, that there is nothing wrong with you. There is nothing wrong with you. You are exactly as you were intended to be created. You are perfect as you are. Are we always evolving and growing and becoming more free and more of who we truly are? Yes. That's a mental thing. It's the only thing that causes the suffering is our minds. Everything else, even if we have physical problems or relationship challenges or financial, when you actually surrender to what is, and it doesn't mean giving up and not creating a healthier and better life. Of course, we move towards those things. But in each moment, when we surrender to what is and we fully accept and acknowledge, first of all, admit what's going on. And I'll give you a personal example how I did this yesterday. But when you just admit what's going on and you embrace what is, you always feel connected. And you always feel alive. And you always feel connected to your true self. See, if I or you believe that we have to be perfect, which whatever that means to you, maybe it means being happy all the time. If you believe that, then you're tying yourself to a very limited identity. You're tying yourself to an illusion. You're tying yourself to a temporary, fleeting experience. What causes suffering is believing that you are something temporary, believing that you are your emotions, your body, anything, your career, your finances. So everything's always changing. Notice our feelings are changing, our finances are changing, everything's always changing, our body shape. I'm aging and it's so incredible to notice my face changing and wrinkles and my eyes softening and gray hairs starting to pop out. It's like freaking incredible. But if I were me 10 years ago, I would be depressed and probably wanting to die or get a lot of plastic surgery because I would have been tied to an identity. So life is constantly asking us, shaking us out of old identities, old limited ideas, because the truth is who we are, the true identity is, there's just no words. The true identity is, it's eternal. It's not temporary. And all of this sounds really great to the mind, but I'll give you, a tangible way to connect with who you truly are. The one who is able to be with, as you are, the various mood swings that come up. I don't see them as mood swings, but the various emotions or death or life challenges or relationship breakups or whatever, from this place of radical acceptance, love, gratitude, presence. And what that entails is letting yourself bawl your eyes out when you feel like crying, letting yourself laugh, when you feel like laughing or dancing, letting yourself be a wild, incredible being. We're here to be free. We're here to experience this incredible thing called life. So a quick example from yesterday, I had so much to do to complete. I'm just in a very full time of my life right now. Beautiful time of my life, very full. And I was extraordinarily exhausted around 2:00 yesterday, like really tired, suddenly, like, whoa, exhausted. And my mind was like, oh my God, what's wrong? What's going on? Went into this whole story, and I was trying to change it. Just like your question asked, how can I get rid of the mood swing? My mood was exhaustion. What I did finally, after, even though I've written a freaking book about this stuff, I still have to remember myself. After 20 minutes of battling my own head on this, I finally surrendered, and I finally laid on the hammock. I stopped trying to push through. I laid on the hammock and I just admitted it. I said it out loud to nobody, to the clouds. I am so shabeep. I actually used an F word, I think. I'm so freaking tired. I'm so tired, and I don't want to feel tired. And tears started to flow, and then all of a sudden I opened up into this deep, deep, deep relaxed state. I'm talking a level of calm that was so delicious and so satiating. And it was just from relaxing into what was. I was exhausted. And as I sunk into that exhaustion, I felt more calm and connected than I had felt all day. So what I said, saying the mood swings are the way, they're not in the way. The mood swings are the way, they're not in the way. Or the obstacles are the way, they're not in the way. When you go towards what you want to fight or change, and you embrace it and you admit it. It's very powerful when you just admit what's going on for you. For those of you who make videos or want to, it's a very powerful way to break the ice and make videos. I just did it in my last video. I tried to make the video 5-6 times and it wouldn't happen. I just kept tripping up on myself. I was overthinking. And then I just came out and said, you guys, I'm having a really hard time making this video. I don't know why. It's difficult for me right now. I spoke the truth of the moment. So what I'm saying is, when you can meet the truth, speak the truth, embrace the truth of the moment, you will always feel connected. Not only will you always feel connected, but other people will have a doorway into you. They'll feel connected with you because you're really here. With all your colors, with all your wildness, all your madness, all your beauty, all your magnificence. And again, the whole of you is so incredibly beautiful. So my question for you is perhaps to consider, rather than asking the question, how do I get rid of my mood swings? I would ask the question, how can I embrace the whole of who I am? And why am I trying to get rid of my mood swings? It's important to look deeper. Why? Nature doesn't try to get rid of its changes of weather. So for me in the past, oh my God, you guys, I think my bracelet, what's the deal with my bracelet? A piece just fell off of it. No. Okay. I love it. So, okay, there you go. So can I embrace that my bracelet's not perfect anymore? It just lost one of its beads. See, we are constantly being invited to embrace what is. And so the question I would ask, I know for me personally in the past, what it was, the reason I wanted to be perfect, and I didn't want to be sad, and I didn't want to be low energy, and I didn't want to be angry, was because I felt like I wouldn't be loved, that I would be abandoned. So just consider that in your journey, okay, of Why do you not want to have mood swings? And for whatever, all of you out there, like anything that you don't want in your life, it likely has something to do with some fixed identity you're trying to be in the world. And carrying that around is what causes depression. When you try to be someone in the world, it's very depressing and very disconnecting, and it can feel like, what's the point? So the way to find who you truly are and get to the point of life is by coming into the present moment. Do whatever you need to do to master your mind and come into the present moment as often as possible. So for me, yesterday on that hammock, when I finally confessed, I feel exhausted and tears started to flow, I stopped running and I was able to feel my body, which was so calm. And I met my body in that calmness. And then I was putting my attention on the tree and the clouds. And there was this beautiful movement above me. And I connected with my breath. The breath is always a way of connecting. So I would devote myself, and Madeline, I think your name is, I would ask, and I'm completing this now, this question, this answer, but I would ask you, how often do you meditate or come into a mindful meal with yourself or a mindful walk? How often do you come into the present moment? How loyal are you to the present moment? And anytime we try to fight who we are or our mood swings, we're fighting the invitation to come into the present moment. So yeah, that's that. I hope that helps in some way. Are there any other questions? I'm going to check on here because for some reason they don't pop up on my phone. They just don't. Okay. Here we go. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay. There are no questions. What? Marie is here from Paris. Bonsoir. How beautiful. Yay. Okay, you guys. So any other questions? Otherwise, we will stop this video here. So good to be live with you too, love. So good. Okay. Well, I'm sending you guys a huge embrace, and may this video simply remind you that the whole of you is completely and eternally lovable. And the only mistake, there are no mistakes, but the only reason we feel lost in life is because, awesome. All right, John, I'm here for your question. Anytime we feel lost in life, it's because we're fighting reality. As Byron Katie so beautifully says, when I fight with what is, I lose, but only 100% of the time. So whether it's emotions you don't want to feel, people who are rubbing you the wrong way, your body doesn't look the way you want it to look, the weather's not what you want it to be, that is what is, and whatever's happening in the moment is perfect. I have noticed in my own consciousness that what freaks me out is when something is coming up that I don't like, and then I feel like it's going to be there forever. And that's a very common thing. So realize and remember that this too shall pass. Whatever you're going through right now, the joy or the darkness shall pass. So John is asking, I need to relieve stress in my life. Please help. What is your question? Please let me know your specific question. You know, as far as stress, again, it's really goes hand in hand with this. When we're overthinking, it's exhausting and it's very stressful. So if you could give me a specific example, that would be great. Rasmus is here. Beautiful. Okay, how can I express my feelings? Ooh, yeah, baby. Good question. You just let it rip. So you don't look for your feelings, but as they arise, just give them permission to express. It's really that simple. It's like you just become more and more attuned to your physical body, breathe into your body, and notice what feeling is coming up. So if you don't have feelings coming up, no problem. If you don't have challenging feelings coming up, no problem. But if a feeling comes up, for example, I've been experiencing rage, like coming up here and there in the last few years, and I love it. Not at people. I don't get like rageful at people. But I've had moments, and it typically comes up because I'll be working so intensely and I haven't had time for myself. So I've crossed my own boundaries, and rage or anger typically comes up in the face of some violation. So I was violating my own boundaries, right? By maybe overgiving and not taking some quiet time. So I remember one day I was sharing this with a client actually a few months ago. So much rage boiled up in me that I pounded my fist on the desk. And that was how I expressed my emotion. And it was just so powerful, and it was so incredible without the judgments that I used to be lost in. It was just this, wow, like this powerful energy. And I was like, wow, I felt so strong. And it was so incredible. It was like this part of me that brought so much aliveness into my body. Now, if I were to repress that feeling, typically that rage would come out in a really inconvenient moment, like towards somebody. And that's the problem with our world. We don't have a healthy relationship with our feelings. We believe that there's something wrong with us if we have feelings that are not happy, happy, joy, joy, and peaceful all the time. And that's just not the case. If nature were to stop raining or stop having thunderstorms or lightning storms, we would have an incomplete and a messy, an imbalanced ecosystem. So it's the same thing with us. So I would just say when your feelings arise, just let them come up. Just make sure you don't dump it on anybody. Just come into a right relationship with those emotions in your own sacred space. If you need help with that, the Diamond Process is all about transforming and breaking through any limiting beliefs and challenging emotions. There are many books that you can pursue. The Diamond Process is one of them. Okay, could you share some tips related to being self-disciplined? Yeah, I would start very small, and this is just my approach. Start with one thing and make sure that the thing that you want to be disciplined with is exciting to you. It's inspiring, okay? For example, if you want to transform your body, you want to feel healthy in your body. Oftentimes people try to change their bodies because they hate their bodies, because they don't like the way their bodies look. That's never going to work. That's, first of all, very abusive on the body. But if you ask yourself, God, I just want to feel good in my body. What does my body need? What does my body desire? What does my body want to feel healthy? Your body will tell you. Just tune in every single day. It might be the body wants to dance, or the body wants to lay on the earth and breathe and stretch. So it's simply about carving out time for you to do whatever it is you want to do, but make sure you're coming from a position of love and not hatred or fear. A very, very simple tip is to mark your calendar for 40 days of whatever it is that you want to do, and have a very simple, tangible step. So what is one step in the direction of that goal? So it might be, if you want to tone your butt, okay, this is one I recently did, then you would just do, let's say, 30 squats a day minimum. Just mark your calendar. And I remember missing a few days, and then I just did 60 the next day. But just have fun with it, enjoy it. So the keys are to mark your calendar and make sure that you're doing whatever goal you set out, you really want to set out for. All right, next question. There are people in my life with strong, hurtful judgment towards me, and when I see them, I feel awful, small, and shamed. How can I grow? How can I get over that feeling? Okay, really, really good question. I bet a lot of people can relate to this. I know I, in the past, could definitely relate to this. The first thing that's coming up is sometimes it's best to love people from a distance. If people are hurting you and you're allowing them to hurt you, it might be time to take a time out, take some space from these people so that you can remember who you are, so that you can rebuild your own self-loving. What happens is when we depend on others to love us or prize us or acknowledge us, and we're not doing that for ourselves, we're setting ourselves up for really, really painful struggle of a life. They're basically showing you a mirror, asking you, are you loving yourself? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you being kind to yourself? Are you taking good care of yourself? Every time somebody is sending out these negative, critical messages towards you, it's simply an opportunity to put up healthy, strong, clear boundaries. I had to do this in the Redwoods for many months. I didn't talk to or see anybody from my family or from really anyone for many, many months. I want to say at least 6 months solid, and then mostly like 90% of people I knew didn't see me for at least 9 months. So that was just something I chose because it was either keep feeling like crap and insecure or find who I am and take a stand for myself. So sometimes it's best to love people from a distance for a while. Now I have a great relationship with everyone because, it's not like this codependent relationship. I just, take care of myself. And that's the key: self-care, self-care, self-care. And just remember, like I shared in my previous video, anything that somebody believes about you or shares about you or criticizes you for, it has nothing to do with you. It's literally a statement about them. It's literally telling you that that person is in a critical or judgmental mindset. That's all it's telling you. Doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It doesn't mean that, they're just like you or me. They're just lost in pain and suffering, and that's all they know. So they're seeing that in you. So it's your job to treat yourself like the most delicious lover, like you're sacred, like you're beloved. Take care of your body, love yourself. Even with the discipline question from before, think of yourself as, even the word discipline, disciple. Be a disciple of love and just love yourself like there's no limit. Take care of yourself like there's no limit. And from that place, it's easy to be disciplined. You just mark your calendar, you just set those boundaries. You are your greatest asset. And so the greater you take care of yourself and you give yourself full permission to shine even when others are lost in the dark, it is the greatest gift that we can give each other. I can't tell you how many times I learn from people when they have their healthy boundaries up, and they just take really good care of themselves. So I feel you. I really feel that question. I know. Yeah, I would just ask you, how can you, for the next month, set extraordinarily healthy boundaries? For me, it meant sending an email to everyone in my family, everyone I knew, and saying, I'm not going to be available for a while. It has nothing to do with you. I'm in a process of healing my life and myself, and I need to take really good care of myself right now, so I'm going into solitude. Very powerful, very empowering, and it was so delicious to have no... obligations. Obviously, if you have kids, that's a different story. I didn't have children, so But, okay. Marie is saying, embrace the truth of this moment. The obstacle is the way. Triggers as treasures. Yes, yes, yes. Juicy Chimp says, hi, I'm Archangel Michael. Thank you for being here, Archangel Michael. Susan, did my question show up in the chat? It didn't, I don't believe. Let me see. It didn't come up. If you could retype your question, that would be great. I don't see it. All right, I'll take a couple more questions here. Rasmus, it's good to see you here. How to deal with expectations and roles I have never chosen, and people keep expecting me to fulfill them. Okay. A really strange question is coming up to ask you. I know you, Rasmus, so I know that this is part of your soul curriculum, right? But are you sure that you haven't chosen this? On a soul level, what if we choose everything in our reality for a reason? So for example, I chose to have certain parents to learn certain lessons. For example, if you come into this world to become free of expectations, to live a sovereign life, then you'll probably be born into a reality where you have all these expectations placed on you, right? So they could very well be teaching you something about taking a stand for your truth and letting go, releasing yourself from expectations that you didn't consciously choose. And that really comes down to speaking your truth. So true power, and this is a definition by Leonard Jacobson, is asking for what you want clearly and lovingly, free of attachment. True power is asking for what you want free of attachment, okay, lovingly and clearly. So, Yeah, I mean, I know you, Rasma. So I know that question, it comes up a lot, right? This question of, I didn't choose this. Why is this happening to me? Why are people expecting me to fulfill, a certain role that I never chose? And I know that has to do with your country of residence or of birth that you don't feel connected to, that culture that you don't feel connected to. And the beautiful thing is, no, I don't think anybody is forcing you to play. Let me know in the comments what specifically you feel like you're being expected to be. And just remember that other people's expectations have nothing to do with you either. Maybe it's an opportunity to ask yourself, what do you expect of you? What are your expectations of yourself? What do you need to accomplish in your life? What is going to fulfill you in this lifetime, and how can you tie yourself to that? Like, connect yourself to that and keep moving towards that, and release yourself of any judgments that may be placed on not fulfilling the expectations of others. It's not your job to please other people. Okay. Friendship, soul, family. John Child says, do I give in what I think is wrong? For example, I think masturbation is wrong, but I really feel the desire to do it now. Should I? Please don't take this question wrong. The only thing that stands in the way of that being a problem is an idea that masturbation is an issue. So if you believe, and this goes for anyone or anything, if you believe something is wrong, then it's going to cause a lot of strife. And there's a constant opportunity every day to release yourself of judgment, to come into self-forgiveness, to just, I would just say, from the Diamond Process book, use the obstacle clearing statement. Anywhere I bought into the belief that masturbation is wrong, I cancel, clear, and I delete it. And I forgive myself completely. And let yourself live your life. Are you hurting anyone by masturbating? No. As long as you're not hurting another person and you're taking responsibility for your life, then masturbate. Do what you want. It's a free world. Okay, last question. Dallas, I totally can relate to the pure exhausting feelings. It is a horrible feeling. I just have so much on my plate right now. Thank you so much on how to deal with this. I'm going off the grid for a few days. I just did that this past weekend and it was so good. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Tiffany, thank you. Tamiko's here. Awesome, you guys. Juicy Chimp, heaven on earth is the point of my life, and I thank you for your time. Beautiful. Heaven is available now. It is not in the future. It is here now. Like literally in this moment. It's always available. And I'll just complete with that. Thank you so much for that beautiful, beautiful comment. And by the way, Susan, I didn't get your question. I see you said something about friendship and soul family, but there's no actual question there. Okay. All right, you guys. I'm sending you all my love. Let's take a deep, deep breath and open heaven on earth here and now. By simply inhaling in and exhaling out. And continue breathing here. And exhaling out. And one more just like that. Inhaling in and exhaling out. This beautiful full moon is here, and in all of her glory, she stands in the sky, showing us what's possible for us. You know, this incredible full moon. She's just bright and powerful and amazing in the sky, free of any need to hide, right? And those phases of the moon, just like our first question from Madeline, you know, the moon is like, would we look in the sky and see a sliver, a crescent moon in the sky and go, oh, I hate that. Why isn't she full, you know? It's like as the moon is changing, she shows us that every phase of the moon is beautiful. And at the same time, the moon is always actually full. She's always in all of her glory there. It's just at times only part of her is revealed. So as parts of you are revealed in life, as your certain emotions are revealed, I would bless them and thank them. If rage comes up, just roar like a lion. If sadness comes up, cry and embrace yourself. If joy arises, dance as you're cooking your meal and give thanks for the amazing abundance that we all live in. We've all eaten today. We've all, you know, slept in a bed. We've all had like our basic needs met. That is a miracle. So whatever it is that arises for you, may you embrace the whole of who you are, and remember there's no destination. It's simply about embracing the multifaceted, magnificent, wild, beautiful being that you are. I send you all my love, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. If you want to know when these are live, I send it out to my newsletter on veronicacresto.com, and that's how I keep everyone informed. So just opt in there and you'll get a free meditation CD, and you'll be in the loop. Oh my goodness. And you'll get weekly videos sent to you. All right, my friends, all my love. Mwah, 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 mwah. I love you guys. If you enjoyed this, feel free to give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend once it's up and recorded. If you know someone who would like it. All right, you guys, I love you. Mwah.